This week, we're exploring emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence encompasses many skills which are needed for success in college and ultimately in your life. Before we define exactly what emotional intelligence is, let's look at the whole person. There are three components that we discuss in this class that make up our whole self: emotional quotient, intelligence quotient, and your personality. You probably have heard of the IQ. It's stable over a lifetime and really doesn't change much. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't work hard in school if you have a lower IQ and still get good grades, but it does mean that your IQ number probably won't change over your lifetime. Your personality, we will talk about that more later in Myers-Briggs week, but your personality, it doesn't change much either. Most children, how they are when they're little kids, are a lot like how they are as an adult. Emotional intelligence, what we're talking about this week, your EQ, it's flexible, it's able to change. We can improve on our emotional intelligence. So what exactly is emotional intelligence? It's the ability to identify, use, understand, and manage our emotions. Why is EI, our emotional intelligence, so important? 90% of top performers have a high EQ. EQ is also responsible for 58% of your job performance. Did you hear that? It's not your IQ, it is your EQ. Also, people with a higher EQ usually make about $30,000 more per year than their counterparts with a lower EQ. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what would. Employers highly value their workers who have a higher EQ. Why? Well, most of the time, workers who have a high EQ can remain calm under pressure, they can resolve conflict, and they usually can lead by example. These are all skills that employers are looking for. So once again, what is emotional intelligence? It's the ability to identify our own emotions, but also learning how to manage them. In our textbook, it defines that emotional intelligence is made up of 4 different categories: the intrapersonal skills, interpersonal skills, stress management, and adaptability. All 4 of these affect our performance. Today, we're going to talk about one particular intrapersonal skill. What's an intrapersonal skill? It's how well you know yourself and how well you like yourself. Okay? Interpersonal skills are interactions with others. Stress management is just that, how we handle our stress. And adaptability is how easily we can adapt to different circumstances in our life. Today we're talking about the interpersonal skill of assertion. Assertion is the ability to clearly and honestly communicate personal thoughts and feelings to another person. It's direct communication. It's a positive way of talking to people. It respects the rights of others and does not hurt themselves or others. Potential problem areas are aggression and deference. If you look at the slide down below, you will see assertion is right in the middle. This is where we want to be with our communication. We want to be direct with people. Sometimes, though, we don't always land on effective communication, meaning direct and to the point and calmly. Sometimes we land in deference. What is deference? Well, that's whenever we probably aren't dealing with something in our life. We'd rather just put it under the rug and not deal with it. We're usually motivated out of fear. The other side would be aggression. It involves the anger emotion. We're hurtful to other people and ultimately hurtful to ourselves. The communication that we want is assertive. Who are assertive people? Once again, they're reasonable and direct. They're calm in stressful situations, and they know how to deal constructively with their emotions. Are you an assertive person? When you took the pre-ESAP test earlier this week, check your scores. How did you score on assertion? Let's look back at our communication continuum. If you scored the highest on assertion, that means that you are doing well with speaking correctly and directly and calmly with others. You might have a high score in aggression, or your high score may be deference. That doesn't mean that you have to stay here. The wonderful thing about our emotional intelligence is that once we have identified our weaknesses and our strengths, we can accentuate our strengths, but also work on our weaknesses. Coming back to this slide, check your scores. Where do you fall on the continuum? We will continue to discuss emotional intelligence throughout the semester.